This is Saul Garza. I'm a visual artist here in San Antonio, Texas, and this is Una Plática.
Una Plática.
Una Plática.
Es una plática.
Say Plática.
Una Plática. Una Plática.
I mean, my main inspirations were definitely my parents. They're both visual artists here in town. So I grew up seeing them do their thing. My dad was a poet too, so, just kind of getting into that realm of, San Antonio, Southtown, all those artists down there. And then seeing who they were hanging out with also. People, real free spirits like David Casas doing his thing. All the mural artists here, Alex Rubio doing his, or Rubio nowadays, doing his, murals around town, and all those West Side murals, that it was really cool to see people from my neighborhood expressing themselves and putting their art out there and for the public to see. I mean, I've always drawn since I was a kid. I can't help it. Any homework I had, I would be drawing in the margins, any assignment. But then actually taking my art and making it an actual thing, I think it was mainly around 2012 or so. Maybe 2009 actually. There was a screen printing shop called Body Lingo where Stella and Halcyon used to be, or where Stella and Halcyon is now. And I would run the production end of that, and I learned how to do screen printing, by the book. And so after leaving that, they sold the company, and I just kind of took that knowledge and used it for my own purposes and turning my drawings into screen prints. That was when I really started taking off. I had a little skeleton drawing in my journal that I really liked, and I remember making this tiny screen print and squeegeeing it and lifting it up for the first time and just seeing that image just reproduced for the first time. It was magical. So I think that was really when I started really printing and making production art. I do. I mean, I grew up, coming of age in the late 90s. And at the time there were, Chicano was, it just had, it was just more common. Everybody was using it. People were coming from, the 70s and 80s and the Brown Pride movement and all these, really powerful men and women in the community. And using that word was always it was just a given. It was, a badge of honor kind of thing. And nowadays it's kind of, it always has had this kind of militant perspective of it, but I don't know, I kind of embrace that. I think it's, not necessarily militant, but it does have power to it. And it has gotten, I don't know if it's gotten picked up, and maybe the connotations have changed in modern times or recent times, but I still wear it with a badge of honor. I mean, I don't know. It sounds cheesy, but I guess I look up to my dad. He's getting up there in age now, and he's still so spry and so with it, and he's so involved in the community and the arts, and he's so creative still. And it's I obviously want to maintain my health as I age, but it's super important to also maintain that creativity and still be out there, putting your creative works out throughout life, so I think that's something to aspire to for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I grew up, like I said, I grew up coming here. My mom was really involved, back in the day. And my parents they would take us everywhere. They didn't have babysitters. So we were, me and my sisters would hang out in the galleries and, just kind of, they were like our playgrounds. So, we didn't really fully understand what was happening at the time, but, it was cool and it was fun. So as I got older, I realized, okay, yeah, it's actually like a hub to come together, for artists to come together and collaborate. And not only that, it's like a nursery to support the community and community artists and help them develop their skills and grow and get introduced, into the art community. So it's definitely important for a lot of reasons, but most importantly, that community aspect and the nurturing of, development of young artists and artists of all ages, but just really that confluence of minds and creative people. There was a collaboration a while back, all these different artists. I forget what the theme was, but it had to do with social justice. And I forget what it was called, but it was really cool to have this, just look at a lot of different perspectives for how people were portraying their sense of, social justice or social injustice, for that matter. It's really good to have that voice and that discourse about, what's happening in the political realm, in the cultural realm, and just get different perspectives. That was good to see. Again, I would go back to the community. I think it's really tight knit. I've seen from, and heard from people from, other places. They come to San Antonio and they're like, man, everybody knows everybody here. It's wild. And we are, we're a really big city, but it's kind of the cliche, like we're a small town in a big city. And we do have little bubbles around town, but there's definitely this community with the artists here. There's no like animosity or competitive, elbowing for room. It's very much like, oh, that's cool. I like what you did there, and just giving each other, props for their success. And I think that's beautiful to see that cooperative, aspect of it. Honestly, I would say, give it your all. It's going to be rough, definitely at first, but when you're doing something you love, it's a labor of love, and you're, having those creative juices flowing, and to see a monetary return come from it is beautiful. And anybody that's able to, make a living off their art, it's definitely, a balance. It takes balance. It takes, self-discipline. You have to kind of put yourself in art jail sometimes and really buckle down and focus. You can't, but then at other times it gives you that freedom to have your social life. And that social life is kind of tied with your work life, if you call it that. Like, art is so collaborative, and it really does give you a lot of just an outlet to create and then express that and have that discourse with you, your art, and the public, and making a living off that. There's nothing better. My main art is printmaking. I do both lithography, like relief cuts, and print off of those. But I like to turn my drawings into screen printing, because I do have a background in doing that for a shop professionally. And then I just adapted what I already knew, made a light room or a dark room in my house, and burned screens. And then my drawings tend to be people and kind of psychedelic, art, just a lot of skeletons and stuff like that also. But yeah, I like to just experiment with color, printing, different layers, the same image, but just stacked. And just, it's really fun to develop a concept, have a drawing that starts off as a sketch in my sketchbook and just see something that I like about it and then grow it, adapt it and see it go from just a quick little sketch that I like the energy to being a full-fledged print-worthy image. And then, all right, it's ready. Take that into the darkroom, burn it on a screen, squeegee it, and just see that like magic of lifting that screen and seeing the image reproduced. There's something in it that it's just really gratifying. So yeah, printmaking is my main outlet, my main artistic outlet.